From 1958 to 1984, the city of Nashville played host to the biggest names in NASCAR. As Fairgrounds Speedway was a staple of the annual Cup Series calendar, 9 of Richard Petty's 200 career victories came in Nashville's 42 Cup events, while all-time track win record holder Darrell Waltrip scored 8 of his 67 career Fairground victories at the Cup level. But the history of racing in Nashville actually dates back nearly a century, as some of the top drivers of the Indianapolis 500 in the 1910s would bring their cars down to the track for events held alongside the State Fair. Originally a dirt oval of just over a mile, the track was converted in 1957 to a half-mile paved oval and lengthened to its current .596-mile layout just over a decade later. In recent years, proving yourself at the fairgrounds has been a surefire way to get noticed in NASCAR, with names like Waltrip, Bobby Allison, Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, Sterling Marlin on the entry list. Taking a win at Nashville shows you've got the skills to pay the bills. Tonight, it's race number 1 of the IROC Challenge Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Nashville Fairgrounds for race number 1 of the IROC Challenge Series, season number 8. Getting ready to kick off here. Late model stock racing. This one is going to be a fun season, certainly going to be a blast. Thank you guys for tuning in here tonight. Back for our second season here in the IROC Challenge Series. Qualifying already wrapped up. We'll get to that starting grid here just as soon as the warm-up is complete. But again, we are in the warm-up session. We'll take a look at the best times to this point. Kevin McCann, the fast time. Of course, it's not displaying. We'll do a quick refresh here to correct that. Kevin McCann, Radford, Mefford, Clifton, and then Brian McCann, your top 5. There's the times, 18:49 fastest right now. Take a quick peek at the practice results from earlier this evening. James Pileski, the number 93, was quickest. Kyle Turzak, second. Brian McCann, third. Brian Rose was fourth fast. Kevin McCann, fifth. Turzak goes second quick. Kevin McCann still on top of the board. Some familiar names, but we've got some new paint schemes we're going to have to re-familiarize ourselves with here tonight. Want to remind everybody, if you are new to HBR TV, we near the end of the IROC Challenge Series last season, we started broadcasting in 4K, so that is an option that you have in your stream resolution. If you're watching here on YouTube, click the cog wheel in the bottom right and adjust that resolution to, I think it's 2160 4K. If you've got the internet to keep up with it. If not, then you may want to stick to maybe 720p, 1080p, something to that effect. But things are nice and clean on this end, so hopefully it's clean on yours. Should be a great race here tonight at Nashville. About 15 seconds left in the session. We'll get the black and red flags to close it out. So, clock at 0. Session is in the books. Get everybody gridded up here. We'll take a look at our starting grid for race number 1 of the IROC Challenge Series. On the pole position here tonight with a lap time of 18.454 seconds. It's Kyle Turzak outside front row, the number 93 of James Pileski. Row number 2, it's Troy Radford and Neil Quick. Row 3, Jarrett Wiedner and Kevin McCann. Row number 4, Garrett Johnston and Brandon Mefford. Row 5, it's the number 89 of Brian Rose, and then Mike Koch. And the 00 starting 10th. 11 starter, it's Jeff Clifton and Joshua Stewart starts 12. 13 starter, it's the 3 of Brian McCann. Chris Mefford will roll 14th. Josh Funkhauser starts in the 15th spot. Nuke Quick in the 4, he'll start 16th. Chris Nenow will start 17th. Doug Wysocki 18th. 19th starter is Larry Bruner. 20th goes to Tim Schofield. Chris Wally, the number 51, will start 21st. Jason Niles is 22nd. Clint Walker 23rd. Brian Rick will start 24th. Spartan Motorsports. 25th starter, it's Robert Rowe. Trevor Quick will start 26th. Steve Durbin 27th. Matt Comp 28th. 29th goes to Steve Robards. And 30th, Adam Benefile in the number 10 starts 30th. It's your starting grid here from Nashville Fairgrounds. Field rolling and getting ready to take the green here after just a couple of base laps. We'll get there shortly. 100% fuel load here tonight. Unlimited sets of tires available for the drivers. Stage breaks coming at lap 50 and 110 this evening. And race details tonight. 77-degree ambient temperature, 57% humidity, partly cloudy skies, hardly any breeze at 2 miles per hour, and 79-degree track temperature. Again, 200 laps the race distance. Should have a good one here tonight. Pace car lights are off as we get ready for a green flag here in less than half a lap. Pace car is off.
Green flag.
Green flag is in the air. We're racing from Nashville. Lap 1 in the books. Kyle Turzak leads lap number 1. James Pileski sticks in the second spot. Neil Quick runs third. Can't help but notice Neil Quick in that familiar number 2. Looks like it should say Miller Lite on the side of that machine. It says RS12 Esports instead. Either way, sharp looking livery for Neil Quick. Looks even better in the top 5 as he runs third. Troy Radford is 4th. Radford, the number 94. Kevin McCann, and his familiar number 33. First handful of laps, pretty clean thus far. Drivers just settling in. One car gets a piece of the outside wall off turn number 4, continues on. Might have been Brian Rick. Looks like it actually might have been Nuke Quick. Indeed it was in the 4. Looking at that number 12 machine of Timmy Schofield. Speaking of paint schemes that look like it should belong to Rusty Wallace. Chris Wally, the 51, with the throwback colors of mellow yellow. Real cool paint schemes here tonight. Chris Wally doing many of them, if not all of them. Caution is out.
How was your forward drive there towards the end of that little run we just did?
Steve Robards, Adam Benefile, and Robert Rowe involved in this. 3 cars. 28 has to go right to pit road. That's Steve Robards. Now let's get a look what happened here. Our first caution of the season here at Nashville. See the 28 there, bottom side, the inside of the 5. That's Trevor Quick, slides up, gets into the door. Quick drives away. Oh, big time hit, though. Collects that big tire, tractor tire, to protect the inside pit wall. Sends the 28 up the racetrack, collects the 9 and the 42. 42 of Robert Rowe. And Adam Benephile in the timing tower will show as the 10. He does have a number 9 on the door, and looks like that's just a slight oversight. They'll get that fixed, I'm sure. So, first caution, 10 laps complete here from Nashville Superspeedway. Sorry, Nashville Superspeedway. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So just want to remind everybody, we are multi-streaming here tonight. We're sending a feed to the IROC TV platform, also continuing to broadcast live here at HBR TV, both platforms on YouTube. Feel free to jump into the stream chat, say hello, cheer on your favorite driver, make comments, just keep everything PG if you don't mind. Pace car lights go out, so we're on the 1 to go. Should catch a green flag the next time by. Still through turn number 2 here. Field formed up, doubling up, 2 by 2. Again, Pileski and Turzak, the front of the field. Very similar paint schemes between these two cars. Team drivers, I'm going to make that assumption. I don't know for sure. But here we go. Pace car is in. Barney waves the green, and we're back racing once again. Great restart for the 051 of Turzak. Battle for the second spot. Neil Quick, James Pileski, Quick to the inside, down the back straightaway. Caution back out. Newt Quick involved in this one.
Kind of talk me through what's going on again.
Newt Quick around off turn number 2. Let's see what happened. Little contact with the 88 machine of Jason Nilgis, sends the 4 around. Minimal damage, if any, to the 4. He'll continue on without issue. Vincent Short joining us here in the HBR TV stream chat. Thanks for checking in, Vince. We do appreciate that. Your patronage is always welcomed. Well, we got one chatter in the stream side. Guys, feel free, don't be shy. I know you're out there watching. Check in with us here in the stream chat. It's usually a very busy place here at HBR TV. We don't bite, we promise. We want you to be part of the show. So at the time of caution, Neil Quick was ahead of James Pileski, so he's got that second spot as we prepare for yet another restart. We'll see if Neil is aggressive on this restart. May attack for that top spot. "17 laps in." Again, don't forget, we do have stage breaks coming up. Lap 50 and 110. Something you don't see typically here in late model stock racing is stage breaks, something they've adopted from the top tier series in NASCAR, Cup, Trucks, Xfinity. But why not? If it works for them, it'll work here. I think a lot of it too is to give these guys an opportunity to pit. Typically these late model stock cars not running with competitive pit stops, so it does take a little bit more time to get that service work completed. Adding the stage breaks does seem to help these guys get their pit service complete within a certain amount of time so that they don't lose a lap. Some of these tracks are going to race this season very, very small. So there you see it, field doubling back up here. Pace car lights are out. Get the restart here, lap 20.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Terzak gets a good jump. Pileski times it well also, gets to the inside and clear of Neil Quick. Gets that second spot back very fast here out of turn number 2. Quick relegated back to P3. Kevin McCann closing in the 4th position. Troy Radford in 5th. Such a great sound. These late model stocks just sound awesome.
Spin.
And we got trouble once again. Jason Nile just in trouble.
What you doing there, bud?
Or is he? Oh, it looks like he crashed for a moment, but he seems okay. Matt Kopp, Steve Durbin, and Larry Bruner, I think, might have been involved in this one. Some damage on the Matt Kopp machine. Steve Durbin looking okay. Larry Bruner still trying to get righted. Tough break for him. Well, let's get a look at it. Catching the tail end of it here. Looks like the 44 getting run over after the fact. The 12, Tim Schofield. Try and get a better look at this one here. The 44 turns Schofield here on the front stretch before they even get down into the corner. Kopp gets into the 44 after the fact. Of course, a much different speed differential between the two drivers. There you have it. Larry Bruner going to head down pit lane. Larry out of San Antonio, Texas. And why not? Bolt some tires on. He's going to have to get some repairs made. Doug Wysocki still in pit lane. So the top two unchanged as Kyle Turzak still leads. James Pileski second. Neil Quick third. Fourth is Kevin McCann. Troy Radford fifth. Sixth is Brandon Mefford. Brian Rose running in the seventh spot, up 2 positions. Brian McCann eighth. He's up 5 spots. Clifton, that is, 9th, and 10th is Garrett Johnston. Pace car lights go out, so we are once again getting ready for yet another restart. 28 laps in, still not quite to our stage break at lap 50.
Green flag.
Turzak clean into 1 and 2. Pileski in behind. Single file for the top two. The battle for the third position between Neil Quick and Kevin McCann. McCann to the outside. Quick down low in that white and blue number 2. Now Radford gets to the inside of Kevin McCann. McCann still up the racetrack. He'll have a run out of turn number 2 here. Brian Rose and Brian McCann doing battle. Rose in the number 89, the black and orange car down low. Brian McCann in the familiar number 3 to the outside. On board with Brian Rose. Not too much heat in these brakes just yet. We'll check back on that later on. We may have some cherry red rotors. We'll see. So Brian Rose running back in the 8th spot after Brian McCann gets clear. The top 8, top 10 plus still single file. On board with Jeff Clifton. Looking back at Mike Cook. I can't help but look at this Jeff Clifton machine. There's a lot of really cool paint schemes here tonight. That's just a big-time throwback to Rick Mast back in the day. The Skull Bandit black and white colors. Loving it. Jason Niles just still back in the 17th spot as we go back to Brian Rose in the 8th position, trying to hold off Garrett Johnston. Johnston in the 15. Turzak and Pileski still 1 and 2. Real quick third. Ryan Rose doing all he can to try and hold him off. Johnston had a run there just a moment ago. He's held off just a bit, taking a peek to the inside, but keeps it in behind the 89. Rose clips the low side, trying to get that car to rotate a little bit. Meanwhile, Brian McCann putting pressure on Brandon Mefford. Garrett Johnston may have had an issue out on the racetrack. He's parked the wrong way. We're going to get a yellow here. Or are we? Johnston does a great job to get that car righted without bringing out the yellow flag. Take a quick look what happened in the 15 just a moment ago. The 1 takes a peek to the inside. Jeff Clifton. Contact gets made, and around the 15 goes. Clifton checks up plenty to go around without making more contact. Slight contact for Johnston to the inside pit wall. Just dumb luck that we didn't catch a caution on that one. Checking on the race leaders once again, it's Turzak and Pileski, the top 2. That's unchanged since this one started. "47 laps down. We've got just a few more before we get to our first stage break. Brandon Mefford still holding out of that 6th position ahead of Brian McCann. A couple of car lengths back to the 3. Back out front, Turzak about to win stage number 1. Off turn number 4, completing the lap 50. Caution should come out.
Yellow, yellow.
And there it is. Yellow flag displayed here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Turzak, Pileski, Neil Quick, Troy Radford, Kevin McCann, the top 5. Brandon Mefford, Brian McCann, Brian Rose, Jeff Clifton, and Jarrett Wiedner, the top 10. Stage number 1 in the books. With that, we're going to step aside quickly and get a break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Nashville Fairgrounds, we're going to try and get a word with our stage winner, Kyle Terzak. See if we can pull him up into the broadcast booth and get a word. Kyle, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got us?
Sir.
Kyle, congratulations. Stage 1 in the books. You win that stage. Walk us through those first 50 laps here. Just a little feeling out period for all these drivers. How was it for you behind the wheel?
It was pretty good. You know, I just had to keep the tires on it. So it's just a name of the game right now. It's just kind of keep the lefts on it because all we're taking is right sides for all this race. Because if you take both, all 4 tires, it will go a lap down. And as you can see, most of them right here are going a lap down because of it. So it's just the same game until about 50 to go and start to pick up the pace and hopefully go get one.
Looking forward to it. What's the strategy play here between now and the next stage at lap 110?
Like I said, just save. That's all you need to do. And after that last stage, just go on from there.
All right, Kyle. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
It's Kyle Terzak, your stage winner. Field getting lined back up. Looks like Kevin McCann was out first. Maybe fuel only for the 33. Terzak made the good point, though, to take care of your stuff the rest of the way. It's going to be a game of saving your equipment, saving your tires. And made a very important point that maybe some newbies that are not familiar with this late model stock cars, again, the uncompetitive pit stops, the non-competitive pit stops, very slow to change 4 tires. You're very likely to lose a lap if you opt to do that. It's going to be right sides only, except for maybe extremely rare circumstances. Some guys might even opt to make 2 pit stops under the caution. They'll come down, change the rights, get back out there, get caught up, change the lefts, and then go back out in the field. They have pushed to restart an extra lap. Should get the 1 to go now this time by. Barney with the green in hand, and we're back racing from Nashville. Stage number 2 begins. We've got some drivers crashing here, and there's Neil Quick around off turn number 2. Big impact. Looks like Brian Rose and multiple drivers involved in this one. Tim Schofield almost getting a piece of Rose as Brian's trying to get it straightened back out. 12-point turn for the 89. Still traffic littering the backstretch. Neil Quick just backing straight down the back straightaway here. There's just chaos. Getting into Matt Kopp, the 22, is now flipped the 22 on his roof. My, oh my. And Neil Quick has gotten into the fence again, just trying to get righted, and he may have lost the motor on this car. I don't know. It's still running. Still trying to get straightened out, though. Something's certainly wrong here with Neil Quick's machine. Let's take a look what happened here. Contact Brian Rose and Neil Quick. Then everybody trying to avoid. It just turns into a big chain reaction crash down the backstretch. I'm going to back this up here and watch it from the Brian Rose perspective as he got into the 2. We'll go to the roof cam with Brian. Slow things. Actually, we'll go full speed. I think Brian caught the bottom of the racetrack and it shot him up just a bit. I'd say a better part of a third of the field involved in this one. Well, with that, we're going to step aside once again, get a break out of the way. We'll be back after this. Back at Nashville Fairgrounds, working lap 64. Pace car lights off, so we should see the green flag this time by lap 65. Again, stage number 2 coming to an end at lap 110, so we got some time still. Pace car is in.
I don't think we're going to go.
And they've waved it off. Try and get this one right. I think they're just trying to make sure the order is correct. And we had a lot of drivers involved in that one. With iRacing, the black flags in many cases are automatic. And with that many cars involved, someone's bound to get one that's undeserving, so sometimes they got to clear that up. So we'll try this again. We're going to need to probably go yet another lap as the pace car is still trying to get through. Yeah, there it is. They waved it off again. So pace car back around in front of the field. Waiting on it yet again. The lights to go out, start finish. I expect we'll see the one to go. Vincent Short still in the stream chat. Thanks for being here, man. You're the only one thus far. It's been awful quiet. I'm getting lonely up here in the booth. Vincent Short, a veteran of the IROC Challenge Series, not racing in this series. Kind of surprised to see that, but nevertheless, good he's here watching it nonetheless. So as we get ready to go back to the green here, we've got 13 cars still in the lead lap after that big incident.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back in the air. We're racing once again. Lap 67 goes up on the board. Kevin McCann with a good jump over Kyle Terzak. Kyle in that second spot. Now third being contested. James Pileski and Troy Radford battling it out. Radford looking to the inside. One car gets into the wall. The one of Jeff Clifton. On board with Kevin McCann. Looking back at Kyle Terzak. And we've even got the Ginger in the chat. Thanks for checking in. Eddie Rose as well.
Caution.
And caution comes back out.
Okay, quickly tell me what you think you had there.
Clint Walker, I think, involved in this one. We'll see what happened here to the 0-2. Walker in that blue and white 0-2 machine in ahead of the 46. That's Chris Mefford. The 0-2 almost seems like he checks up in the middle of the corner and he gets bumped by the 46, sends the 0-2 around into the fence, puts us under caution once again. Chris Mefford going to take an opportunity to hit pit lane here. Maybe just for fuel. Stays on the ground, so no tire change for the 46 unless this just might be a stop and go. I'm not sure. Every league runs their penalty system differently. Mefford, 13.28 seconds in the pit box. A little bit of left rear damage still on the 46 machine. Duke Quick in the pits as well. Josh Funkhauser, Garrett Johnston. Brian McCann in the stream chat, and he's driving. Thanks for checking in, Brian. Unless he's got, you know, his own social media guy doing it for him. That could be. Brian McCann's a big deal. Speaking of Brian McCann, running 6th. Up 7 spots. Remember, he started 13th. Expect to see the 1 to go here. Yep, lights go out. So lap 75 will get a restart. Puts us at 126 to go. Want to remind everybody, stage break coming at lap 110, and they've called it off once again. So we're going to go one more time around before we catch the green flag. Brian McCann in the chat again. He's got 3 hands apparently. All right. Well, that makes sense. That answers so many questions. All right, so we're going to try this again. Field getting caught up here off turn number 2. We should be ready for the restart this time. His car is down. Kevin McCann leading him back to green over Kyle Turzak. Green goes in the air. Good jump for both the top 2. Turzak stays to the outside. Brian Rose battling with Jason Nilgis. This all be for the 11th position. Nilgis has it for the time being. Real loose on exit is the 88. Brian Rose takes it away. Nilgis back into the 12th spot now. Chris Wally next on the list. He runs 10th. And then Chris Nenow in the 9th spot, needing to hold off to 51. Oh, Brian Rose goes around.
Save your stuff, save low fuel.
Don't know if he got to the throttle a little too soon off of turn number 4, but very quickly finds himself into the wall, facing the wrong direction as he was approaching the top 10. Under caution once again. Let's see what happened here. The 89. Here's Rose, the number 89, the black and orange machine. Down into turns 3 and 4. Nile just still in behind. It's tough to say. He was catching Wally pretty quickly there on exit. I don't know if he had to lift or hit on the brakes a bit, but nevertheless, it spun him around. Sends him to the inside pit wall. Nobody else collects him, thankfully, but puts us under the caution nonetheless. Chris Mefford's going to come to pit lane here once again. I don't know if he's just trying to get some more damage repaired on that number 46 machine. Effort going to take some tires here. See if that helps his cause. Brian Rose just leaving the pits as well. Vincent Short making a very good point in the stream chat. Brian Rose, you got to shake off that rust. Brian spent, I want to say, the last 4 or 6 months or so. Not that we feel bad for him on this, but living in Hawaii, of course, did not bring any of his iRacing stuff with him, so he's certainly trying to get back in the rhythm of things. Work lap 84, pace car lights still on. Slowly but surely working our way towards the end of stage 2. Line back up here, double file. Pace car lights have gone out. Hopefully we can get back to the green this time. We've waved off the last couple, just trying to make sure the order is correct. It's going to be Kevin McCann, Kyle Turzak, James Pileski, Troy Radford, Brian McCann. Those have been the usual suspects here most of this race here up into the top 5. Then it's Brandon Mefford, Jeff Clifton, Jarrett Wiedner, Chris Nenow, Chris Wally, your top 10.
Green flag
back in the air. We're racing from Nashville. Slow car down low. It's the 44. Larry Bruner. Kevin McCann continues to lead. Kyle Turzak all over the back bumper. Kevin slips up off turn 4 just a bit. May have opened the door. Turzak to the inside. The battle for the race lead is on. Turzak was able to get alongside, still not quite clear.
Caution's out.
And caution is on the speedway once again. Steve Durbin involved in this one. Durbin gets it righted, now facing the right direction as we finish lap 91. Started just now. Let's see what happened here to the 30 machine. Durbin was in behind Josh Funkhauser. Not very close. I don't think Josh has anything to do with this one. Just got loose over the bump in turn 4. Tries to keep it straight. Tries to correct, but it's just not enough. Makes contact just before the Big Machine Vodka logo on the inside pit wall. 92 laps in. Slowly but surely working our way to lap 110, the end of stage 2. Six and a half laps shy of halfway here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Turzak now your new race leader. I think Kevin McCann may have hit pit lane. Indeed he has. Now runs in the 11th position. Made a pit stop here, lap 91, a couple of laps ago. And definitely took at least right side tires. It might have been for a 23-second stop. Pace car lights are still on, so we'll go one more time. I'm expecting we'll hit the 1 to go signal here across the stripe, lap 95, so restart 96. It's about 15 laps to finish this stage.
Not going.
And they're going to wave off the restart, so one more time around. We got that S4 guy in the stream chat. Says, I don't see any Audis. Here we go. Back to start finish. Green flag in the air. Turzak gets the jump. Pileski stays in the second spot. It's a rerun of the first handful of laps here. Top two back where they started. Troy Radford now running in the third position. Oh, we got one around. Big wreck off turn number 2. Jarrett Wiedner, Josh Funkhauser, Mike Cook, all involved in this one. Funkhauser still to the inside, trying to get clear of the 99. That's Jarrett Wiedner. I think Wiedner was the first one around. Take a look at the replay here. The incident begins, I believe, off turn number 2. You see the 99 machine, the gray, black, purple machine there off turn 2. Maybe some contact with Nilgis. Yeah, definitely. Gets into the back, sends him around. He tries to correct. 129 gets a big piece, and then everybody checking up, and it's just chaos after that. Looks like it's going to be Turzak, Pileski leading the field back to green. Radford will be third. Brian McCann and Jeff Clifton, your top 5. Slowly approaching the end of stage 2, lap 101. Stage will end at lap 110, or at the conclusion of lap 110. There it is. Pace car lights are out. Lap 103 will get the restart.
Negative, they called it off.
Lap 104 now. They've called it off again. I got to hand the admin some credit here, making sure all these guys get lined up where they need to be before we get back to racing. Some leagues just not really that attentive to detail. All right, so we should be good to go now. Pace car lights are out. Lap 104 will get the restart. Let's cross our fingers. Hopefully we can get to the end of the stage here before seeing the yellow flag another time. Green flag back in the air. Good jump for Turzak over James Pileski. Battle for the third position between Troy Radford and Brian McCann. McCann to the outside, trying to pick up some more points here. He wants to be at least in that top 3 at the end of the stage. Radford battling back on the inside, slips up the track just a bit. So does Brian McCann at the stripe. McCann's got the spot for now, but still not clear. Radford's not giving up yet. Still side by side, Radford down low, the 3 of McCann up top. Lap 106. Still Turzak and Pileski out front. McCann powers by Radford, takes the spot, gets clear. Now move the 3 up into the 3rd spot. Radford back to 4th. Brandon Mefford runs 5th. And caution's out again. Wysocki and Newquick involved in this one.
Coming into the box is the part that I'm mainly concerned about.
I think this is going to end our stage here, as we are not going to get back to the green here before lap 110. Turzak's going to win the stage, it appears. He's going to roll down pit lane here. Just about everybody else going to go with him. Turzak's going to take rights. As we talked to him at the end of stage 1, it's probably rights only. Drops the jack, he's down and away, so is Pileski, but Turzak's going to win the race off of pit road. A couple of drivers stayed out here, Kevin McCann, Jason Niles, and Chris Mefford. Try and get Turzak up in the booth once again. Get a word with our stage winner. Kyle and Steve in the HBR TV booth once again. You got a copy?
Sir.
Kyle, congratulations. That's 2 stages and 2 stage wins. What's it going to take to put this thing in victory lane? I know clean air seems to be pretty important as we watched you run behind Kevin McCann.
Yeah, I was just seeing what he could do. Just see what he was weak at. Now I'm just going to pick and choose where I want him at and go from there. The stage was kind of wonky, a lot of yellows. It seems like every time we have a long race, just in general with late models, it just seems like in the middle portion there's a lot of yellows. So you just gotta keep care of your stuff and go on from there.
Well, we'll see if you can keep care of your stuff to the checkered flag, man. Wish you the best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
It's Kyle Turzak, your stage 2 winner. That's 2 in a row, trying to make it 3. 3 would be a final checkered flag and take the race win. We'll see if he's got what it takes. So as we get ready to go back to the green flag here, Kevin McCann's going to lead them back to the stripe. Jason Niles will restart to the outside. Then Chris Mefford, Kyle Turzak, James Pileski, Troy Radford, Brian Rose, Brian McCann, Jeff Clifton, and Garrett Johnston, the top 10. Final stage, getting ready to kick off here. Pace car lights are out. We'll see if we go another lap or not. Trying to get everybody formed up where they need to be. Cars off.
Green. Caution.
And the caution's out again. A big wreck on the back straightaway. Everybody involved in this one. Just a mess here off turn number 2. Driver's still trying to get away here. Well, as we like to do, let's try and figure out what happened here. There's so many involved in this one, but I guess we'll give it a shot here and take a look. Again, right after the restart, we're watching Chris Wally on the bottom, that number 51, the black and green machine. And it looks like it happened up front in this group. Chris Mefford may have been the first to go around. I want to back this up again here. Just trying to unpack this here to see what kicked this off, really. Mefford had the 93, I think it is, in behind him. And he just goes around in front of the field. I think the 93 was James Pileski, now that I think about it. But you see it, everybody just piling in here. Chain reaction crash. We'll watch it in real time here. First race of the season, all you guys out here watching, shaking your head. It's just the way it goes sometimes. They'll get it cleaned up, don't you worry. They always do. A lot of really good drivers in this series. But you got a big field on a small track. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Not going, I don't think.
And they're going to wave it off again. Pace car did make it to pit lane, but they're going to try and set this for another restart next time by, I believe. So pace car can get back out there quick enough. There's the iRacing pace car getting out in front of the field. Pace car back in. Let's try this again. Lap 121 for the restart.
Green flag.
McCann to the inside of Kyle Turzak off turn 2. Turzak's going to have the run down into turn 3, but he still sticks to the outside line. Through 3 and 4. Turzak with a whale of a run off turn number 4. He's going to get a nose out in front. He's going to lead that lap. Not quite clear just yet. McCann still to the inside. Not willing to concede the position. Might have to here into 3. Still there. And this time, Turzak's going to take it out Turn number 4, back to the top spot. McCann in second now, Jeff Clifton third, Brian McCann fourth, Brian Rose running in fifth, battling with Troy Radford for the time being. Troy completes the pass on Brian Rose, puts himself back into the top 5. Got a battle for the second spot. Jeff Clifton to the inside of Kevin McCann. At least gets the nose alongside off turn number 4. McCann hangs on to that second spot. And a caution comes out once again.
Dave, how was your car?
Maybe Steve Durbin involved in this, Chris Nino. Nino trying to get it straightened out here on the front straightaway. Durbin is driven away. I don't know if he was involved in it or not. This might have been a different incident entirely, but Nino still trying to get righted here, ready to start finish. Let's see what happened here to the 129 machine. James Pileski to the inside. Nino slips up the track, tries to get off of the car to his outside. We're effectively 3 wide here out of turn number 4 and comes across the nose of the 93. Nino spins to the inside wall. Don't think he collects anybody else, but there's Barney grabbing that yellow flag. Just over 70 laps to go here at Nashville Fairgrounds. It's been an eventful evening, if that's the word I'll choose here. 12 cautions on this short track with these late model stocks. Tough to really get into a rhythm if you're a driver in the series. Just you get going, you throw 5, 6, 7 laps in, and the caution comes out. Then you do it again, and the caution comes out. You're not really getting a good feel on the race car as far as what the tires are going to do over the course of a long run. I know in many cases these Hoosier tires, they almost pick up speed over the course of a long run, but we really haven't had one long enough to see that come to fruition. We'll see if that remains the case. Field getting the 1-to-go signal here. We'll see if that remains to be the case. Many times tonight they've extended it, just trying to get everybody lined up where they need to be.
Not going, I don't think.
And there it is. We've gone 1 extra lap. Just about every caution we've extended it. Again, I give the admins a pat on the back for doing so. I'd rather go the extra lap and have everybody where they're supposed to be than to say the heck with it and let's just go racing. Kyle Turzak's certainly been the dominant driver here this evening. Kevin McCann has had moments of glory here at the front of the field, still battling with the 51. We'll see if he's got anything for him. Pace car is in, green flag in the air. We're back racing at Nashville. Oh, one car around off turn number 2. Doug Wysocki involved in this. Nuke Quick, Chris Mefford. Trying to see who else it is, the 03. I think that might be Josh Stewart. Indeed it is. Caution number 13. Oh, Nuke Quick in trouble. Something certainly broken in the front suspension of that machine. Steering linkage all off. Talk about dog tracking. It's a crab walk if I've ever seen it. See if Quick can get to pit lane here and get that addressed. Certainly not going to be race worthy at that type of damage. Quick having trouble getting it turned down into pit lane. The car just won't go. Cautions breed cautions. We're certainly seeing plenty of that here this evening. It's got to be frustrating for some of our front runners. Kyle Turzak, we've talked to him twice, and you can almost hear it in his voice. Didn't say as much, so I'm just speculating, but I can imagine that he, and he's probably not the only one, is certainly frustrated with the number of cautions here this evening. Nobody wants that. The fans, the drivers, the race admins, the league controllers. We're certainly not doing it on purpose, folks. It's just the way that it goes sometimes, and they will get it better, I promise you. Just wrapped up their last season. Different cars, of course, different tracks, but very, very clean racing. And they were running the Gen 4 Cup car. That thing is certainly a handful to drive. Doesn't matter where you're at. And the fact that they ran very clean races almost all season long. They'll get it figured out here. Have faith. Car is in, green flag in the air.
Caution,
and the caution's out again. Big trouble here in the front stretch.
Move, cool your tires off, get your fans on.
And what happened here, looks like they had guys trying to get caught up, trying to be in the right spot on the racetrack. They did not extend the yellow this time, but man, you see it. This is what happens when you're trying to get caught up. The back of the field is going to be well at speed by comparison. And if there's an issue ahead of them, it's tough because they're the drivers that are up front in front of the groups that's up to speed. They're not at that same pace. They're slower, certainly. Of course, when they get into the wreck, it just gets worse. See if I can get a better view of this. Bit of a checkup here. You see Brian Rose in the 89, then it's the 15, and then 93, and there's kind of an accordion effect there. Chris Wally runs into him, and then it goes from there. So watch it in real time. Lap 143. Just going back to the extending of the caution period, adding an extra lap. They've done it a lot tonight. And it's not a bad thing to do it. I think it makes a lot of sense. Again, given the size of this field, get drivers trying to get caught up, trying to get into position. The problem is when you don't do it, and you still got guys trying to get caught up, this is what can happen. I mean, the guys that are just there, they're at speed, just trying to get to the back of the field. Well, the green flag comes out, so they're going to stay at speed. But the guys at the mid portion to the, I don't know, 2/3 of the back of the pack, they're coming up to speed. So if something is to happen, we just saw it unfold here on the front stretch. If something is to happen ahead of the drivers that are trying to get caught up, it's very difficult to get them checked up enough to not just drive right into that crash. Things happen in a hurry. Pace car lights are out. And folks, I'm going to warn you, when we get back green flag racing, I got to jump to a side-by-side break. Don't worry, you'll still be able to watch the action live. We got to get at least one in before this race is out. Try to get a rhythm in and try to do it after a long green flag run. We just haven't had the opportunity as of yet. So we'll call this restart and then go to our side-by-side. Don't worry, you won't miss a minute of the action, and we'll be back.
Green flag.
One lap in the books. Terzak, Kevin McCann, and Brian McCann, your top three. Jeff Clifton, Troy Radford, the top five. As we jump away for a side-by-side break, we'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Any thoughts on pitting or staying out at all?
Back at Nashville Fairgrounds, working caution once again for a little lazy spin from Jarrett Wiedner. Take a look at it once again. Looks like Wiedner just got the left sides below the yellow line and on the flat of the racetrack. And around he went. Across the stripe, we got 41 laps to go. Talked to Kyle Turzak after his stage 1 victory. He's talking about survival, taking care of your equipment. It's going to be the key to this one. Taking care of tires, taking care of fuel. Fuel not so much an issue here with the amount of our cautions that we've had. And honestly, tires likely not as much of an issue either. You got to be at speed to wear them out. Had a bunch of cautions here this evening, but nevertheless, survival is key, and that seems to be the case, and it's holding true for Kyle Turzak. Started out front, remains the race leader. I think he's got the most laps led to this point already. Kevin McCann hot on his trail has maintained that second position. Brother Brian McCann running third. Jeff Clifton and James Pileski rounding out the top 5. Expecting the 1 to go signal here as we cross the stripe. There it is, the lights go out. Field's still catching up here out of turn number 2. Looks like we're good to go here. We've lost some cars here to damage and things like that. Naturally, some attrition will help. Pace car is in.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. We're off and running once again.
Caution.
And Tim Schofield involved in this one.
Man, tell me what you got.
Number 12 machine beaten and battered. Let's see what happened here to Timmy. Looks like the 9 checked up a little bit. Schofield checked up even more, and whoever hit him from behind didn't check up enough. Gets into the back bumper of the 12, and around he goes. Taking a look at the top 10 here, Kyle Turzak still the leader. Kevin McCann second. Brian McCann third. Jeff Clifton fourth. James Pileski is fifth. Troy Radford sixth. Seventh is Brian Rose. Brandon Mefford running eighth. Ninth position is Jason Nilges. And 10th is Chris Wally. 11th position is Joshua Stewart. Steve Durbin running 12th. I'm not sure if Durbin's on the lead lap or not as he's exiting pit lane. We'll see in just a moment. So Durbin is 12th. Last car on the lead lap. Pace car hits pit lane. We're 2 by 2 once again, getting ready for a restart. Green is in the air. Lap 169. Turzak gets away once again. Kevin McCann tucking in behind. Brian McCann real loose off of turn number 2. Saves the car. James Pileski now running into the back of the 3 here. Trying to make a move around. Real hard to the inside. Oh, we got trouble now. Brian Rose sideways on the back straightaway.
Quickly tell me about your car if you can.
Let's watch it from Brandon Mefford's perspective here. Him and Rose battling side by side off turn number 2. We'll go real speed. To back that up, Mefford got in the fence on exit. I don't know if it was from contact from Brian Rose or not. Now Mefford just went a little wide on the exit of turn 2, gets up in the fence, bounces down, collects Rose. Working caution number 17 here at Nashville Fairgrounds. See Tim Schofield there to the inside. I don't know if he's going to get a lap back or he's trying to drop back to the end of the field. Currently parked in front of Kyle Turzak. There he goes. Around the pace car. Hits the wave around. Schofield getting the wave around as the lucky dog. "25 laps to go and we get to the stripe. See if we can make it to the finish."
Green flag.
Turzak maintains the top spot over Kevin McCann and Brian McCann. James Pileski started outside front row and currently runs in the 4th position. 5th is Troy Radford. He's been up in that top 5 almost all night long after the strong run. Jason Nilgis, though, back in the 7th position. He's up 15 spots. A good, strong run for the 88 thus far. Brandon Mefford still within the top 10, running 8th, right where he started, working on Jason Niles just for that 7th spot. Turzak starting to run away with the race lead. Kevin McCann and Brian McCann, a car length between the two. James Pileski just a half car length off the 3. Don't want to jinx it here, but it seems like we're starting to settle into a run. Larry Bruner leaving pit road. Jeff Clifton got a piece of the fence on exit at turn number 2, just a piece. Still battling hard with Troy Radford, but Radford's got other plans. He's looking to the inside on Pileski for the spot. Radford taking a peek. This will be for the 4th position. Radford's alongside. Real loose off exit for both drivers. Clifton's starting to go through as Pileski loses 2 spots. Radford with some late race pace. Picks up a spot or 2 here. Pileski loses 2 out of the deal, so he's running back in the 6th spot now. Brian Rose back in the 10th position. Through all his woes tonight, he's still managing to hang on into a top 10 spot. Chris Wally's alongside there for a moment, 9th spot. Now Brian Rose trying to take it away. Wally battling back on the outside. 00 Mike Cook involved, but he's not on the lead lap, not for position. Still watching the battle for position. This for the 9th spot. Ryan Rose to the inside, loose on exit at turn number 2. Chris Wally carries a little extra speed down into turn number 3, maintains his position to the right side of the 89. Off turn number 4, a big run for Wally at the stripe, too close to call. Back to turn number 1, in the middle of 1 and 2. Rose with the advantage, still not able to get clear. Almost some contact off turn 4. Wally up the racetrack a little bit more than he had planned, I think, and he loses the spot, but a big run off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, gets to the inside of Brian Rose. A bit of a crossover for Chris Wally. Great battle here for the 9th position. Less than 10 laps to go from Nashville Fairgrounds. Kyle Turzak still with the race lead over Kevin and Brian McCann. Radford 4th, Jeff Clifton still 5th. Niall just making a pass for position on Brandon Mefford. He's now just up to 7th. Mefford crossing over, taking a peek back to the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact. Mefford and Niall just coming together here just before turn 1. Watching these two battle it out here. 5 laps to go. 6 laps to go. Big run and contact, and Mefford spins the 88.
Any thoughts on pitting or staying out at all?
More drivers getting collected in this down the back straightaway. Multi-car incident. We saw it shaping up. Just a moment ago, off turn 2. Hard to see from that perspective. We'll back it up. Niall just got the left sides below that yellow line. Got it a little upset, but it slowed his momentum. Mefford gets into the back and just sends him around. Brian Rose trying to sneak by on the inside. Rose gets a piece of it, straightens the car back out. Niall just slow on the racetrack. I don't know if he's waiting for Mefford or what the situation is here. Well, we got 3 laps to go, so I think this is going to send us to a first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Series is set for 3 attempts at max, if needed. All right, so we're getting formed up here, getting ready to go back green flag racing. First attempt at a green-white checker. This would effectively have been the final lap of the race. So when we take the restart here, well, now lights back on the pace car, so we're going to go yet another lap. So as we get back to start and finish, effectively this would have been the white flag lap. They're going to go an extra lap under caution. Try this again, still trying to get the order right, make sure everybody's where they need to be. I know we've said it a lot here tonight, but it's important. That's why they keep extending these cautions. It's not a big racetrack. We've got 30 cars that showed up here to race this evening that are all on track at once. Certainly adds to the complication of the cautions, but also makes it a little bit difficult to get everybody where they need to be in time before we go back green. Some racetracks, it's the opposite problem. You got more time than you want. Well, here we go. Let's try it. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Turzak gets a great jump over Kevin McCann. Brian McCann, though, looking to the inside for the second spot. Field working through turn number 2. Turzak off turn number 4, looking at the white flag. Barney's got it. Last lap from Nashville Fairgrounds. Kevin McCann maintains the second position. Brian McCann trying to hold off Troy Radford. Radford to the outside off turn number 2, but it's clear sailing for Kyle Turzak. On to turn number 4, he's going to see a checkered flag and win race number 1 of the IROC Challenge Series. Turzak, your race winner. Top 3 lining up here at start finish. We're going to jump out, get a quick break out of the way, and we'll be back with our top 3 in the broadcast booth after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Nashville Fairgrounds, race number 1 of the IROC Challenge Series in the books. And our race winner, Kyle Turzak, available for comment. We'll pull him up into the booth here in just a moment. In fact, we do have him here. Kyle Turzak, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Kyle, congratulations on honestly, a hard-fought race win. Not so much because of the competition, but just a rough night. A lot of cautions here tonight. Hard to stay focused when these races end up like this. Walk us through how your race went. I know we talked a couple of times throughout the stage breaks, but talk about that final stage and the eventual green-white checker to the finish.
Yeah, the start of the stage was actually pretty good. I knew what to do right there on the outside, and as soon as I got around on the outside, I just felt like I had the better car. And after a few yellows, I was like, okay, let's see what we got here. So decided to hit the button, and I was just clicking off lap times after lap times, burners after burners, and eventually we had that one green-white checker, which I was definitely not a fan of because I had a 2-second gap. But we just got the restart there and pulled away and got the dub.
Well, tonight being what it was, it can only get better from here. Next week we go to South Boston. How do you feel about your chances for 2 in a row next week?
I feel pretty good. I'm like an hour away from South Boston. I race a limited late model up here in Virginia. So Virginia boys got a rep, and hopefully we can really get it done there too.
All right, Kyle. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Congratulations. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I just want to thank you for broadcasting, Chris for officiating, all the sponsors for the series. Can't name them all on top of my head. And my personal one, Zoom Soap Shop. They help me everywhere. And without them, I wouldn't be here.
All right, Kyle. Well, again, congratulations. Good luck next week, man.
Thank you.
Kyle Turzak, your race winner here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Next, we're going to talk to Kevin McCann, our runner-up, driver of the number 33 machine. Seemed like he was pretty quick when he was out front. It seemed like nobody could get around him, but once the leaders got that clean air, it was hard to do anything with it. Kevin McCann, Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going good, Kevin. Congratulations, a runner-up finish to start the season. I know this one was a little chaotic, but walk us through your race. Was there anything you could have done differently to reel in Kyle Turzak there late?
I don't think so. He definitely had some good long race pace there, and he was saving tires better than any of us, I think, there toward the end. And yeah, not much I could have done. I think second or third was about the best I could do tonight. My goal was just to keep the car up front. I played the strategy a little differently. I pitted right before the final stage break, just because I knew I wanted to, keep the car up front there. And fortunately it paid out. There was a big wreck behind me right after the restart there after that second stage. So got lucky with that one, kept the car clean, and brought it home second.
Strong run certainly to start the season. We go into South Boston next week, another tight racetrack for these late model stocks. How do you think it's going to go next week?
Oh, with all 30 cars on that track, it's going to be interesting for sure. We'll just have to think it'll be another race of attrition, trying to keep the car clean, and hopefully you have something there towards the end.
Well, we certainly look forward to it either way. Again, it can only get better from here, hopefully not worse, but it remains to be seen. Kevin, congratulations. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I think all the league sponsors that came on this season, and I think the admins for putting on the show, and you guys for doing the broadcast.
All right, Kevin, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week. It's Kevin McCann, your runner-up here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Next, we're going to talk to Brian McCann, driver of that number 3 machine. Looked like he had an opportunity there late in that green-white checker to make a pass on his brother. Wasn't meant to be, still finishes third. Brian, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Hey, I do.
Brian, congratulations. A top 3 finish to start the season. That's not a bad thing. I know we had our fair share of cautions. Hopefully we can reduce that next week at South Boston. But before we talk about South Boston, let's talk about your race. You started out in 13th. You made up 10 spots to finish into the top 3. Was there an issue in qualifying, or just that's the pace that you had on the short run?
I was pretty fast in practice, but I just don't know what happened on qualifying. Felt good, felt fast, and I looked at the number and I was like, why was that so slow? So I really don't know why I was so slow in qualifying, but came back out and car after car, and just trying to figure out those restarts in that chess game, because that's where all the passing happens, those restarts, and we got quite a few of them. Sometimes you could do it while he's on the inside, sometimes you could do it while he's on the outside. It just depended on how you drove it down into the corner and really had to use up a lot of tires to do it. So that was kind of hurt in the long run, but we had very few long runs, so it really didn't matter.
So with that said, obviously we had a bunch of cautions tonight. I think we ended up with 18 total, maybe 19. I'll have to go back and look. But what does that do to you as a driver as far as trying to settle into a rhythm and just kind of go after it every time you get the opportunity to say, all right, we're doing good here, 5-6 laps into a run, feeling good, and all of a sudden the yellow comes back out and you got to do it all over again. What does that do to you as a driver?
Well, the first time it felt real good when the cautions were coming out because I didn't put enough fuel in the car, so I wasn't going to make it on the green. But the second stage, the final stage to the checkered there, I had enough fuel, so I did want a green flag run, and we did get like 2, I think, and Kyle, man, I don't know what Kyle was doing, but he just took off and just kept going. And me and Kevin was in the car, and we were like, what is he doing different? Because me and Kevin was about equal, and I think everybody behind us was about equal. But Kyle was just out there on the island by himself.
Well, it was certainly interesting to see. We'll have to wait till next week to see what happens between all you guys and who takes the checkered flag, so on and so forth. Maybe you learn something between now and then, but nevertheless, this one's in the books. You finished third. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
That just my family, you for doing the broadcast, league admins for putting the show on, race control, drivers for showing up, 30 drivers out here on a short track. That's amazing. Good, clean, well, not clean, a lot of cautions, but first race, let's just get that one over with, and then we'll come back next week and see what we can do and see if we can go some more green flag running out here, because once we get going, it's pretty fun, and I look forward to next week.
So the natural inclination for Brian is to say, good, clean race. And he says that because usually these IROC races, that's what they are. They're usually pretty damn clean races. So once in a while you get one like this, we'll see what we can do next week. Brian, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Brian McCann, your third place finisher here at Nashville Fairgrounds. That wraps up the interviews here. Let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to Kyle Terzak, Kevin McCann, and Brian McCann. Fourth place was Troy Radford. Fifth was Jeff Clifton. James Pileski was sixth. Brian Rose came home in the 7th spot. Steve Durbin was 8th. Josh Stewart finished in the 9th position. 10th went to Jarrett Wiedner. Brandon Mefford was 11th. Chris Wally finished in the 12th spot. 13th finisher was Jason Nilgis. 14th went to Josh Funkhauser. 15th place was Mike Cook. Tim Schofield finished in the 16th position. Clint Walker 17th. Doug Wysocki came home in the 18th spot. Matt Kopp was 19th. Chris Mefford 20th. 21st, Larry Bruner. 22nd went to Adam Benefiel. Nuke Quick was 23rd. Garrett Johnston 24th. Chris Nenow was 25th. Neil Quick finishes in the 26th spot. Brian Reck was 27th. Trevor Quick 28th. Steve Robards was 29th, and Robert Rowe finishes 30th, 197 laps down. These guys out very early, involved in a major incident. That's going to wrap it up for us here at Nashville Fairgrounds. Race number 1 of the IROC Challenge Series in the books. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it was a tough one here tonight, but I promise you they won't all be like this. It's going to get better, guaranteed, as we progress throughout the season. If you guys haven't already done so, please like the stream. Do that over on IROC TV and HBR TV if you're so generous to do so. Definitely helps us here at the channel, helps the league get some more exposure. It's just a positive all around, and it's free to do. Also, check us out on the website, hbrtv1.com. Click the live tab for today's race, whatever it may be. We'll switch that over in the coming days. And we'll be back live here on Wednesday evening with the Numb Thumbs Racing League, also running the late model stocks, the Amco Transmissions Late Model Stock Tour. Tune in for that. Should be a good one. It's going to wrap it up. Congratulations to Kyle Terzak for a dominant performance here in Nashville. We'll see you guys next week out at Sobo. Maybe we'll get some fried bologna while we're at it. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.